Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine trying to name the highest mountains in the U.S. Where would your mind naturally go? Colorado, maybe California. Here's where it gets really interesting because the source for our deep dive today, 10 most highest mountains in the US, 10 most today, reveals something pretty astonishing. A core fact. Every single one of the highest mountains in the US is located in just one state.
Yeah, what's truly fascinating here isn't just, the statistic itself, but the sheer geological dominance, one single location. If we kind of connect this to the bigger picture of North American geography, it completely reframes how you might think about the U.S. landscape. It's certainly not what most people would intuitively guess.
Right. And that state, as you might have figured out, is Alaska. Every single one. The top 10 highest peaks are all in Alaska. So our mission here in this steam dive is basically to give you a shortcut to being well informed about these incredible giants, to grasp their immense scale, and, well, to really appreciate Alaska's unique position. It's a unparalleled position in the world of high peaks. We want to go beyond just the numbers, paint a richer picture for you. And, the article we're pulling from it explicitly highlights this. It says it would be quite unfair to list any other state just because of Alaska's complete hold on these top 10 spots. So we're going to count them down, give you a sense of not just their height, but maybe what makes each stand out or, what they tell us about this incredible state.
Okay, sounds good. Kicking off the list then. At number 10, we have Mount Fairweather. It stands at an impressive 15,300 feet. But what's really surprising, as the source notes, is that even starting here at number 10, there are 6 more Alaskan mountains on this list before any other state even gets a look in. It really sets the stage, doesn't it, for the sheer concentration of high-altitude terrain up there.
Wow, that's a powerful statement right from the start.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we begin this ascent, what makes number 9 Mount Churchill notable? Beyond its elevation, I mean.
Well, at 15,638 feet, Mount Churchill doesn't dramatically outstrip Fairweather, not in terms of raw height, like by mountain standards, but it's part of the massive Wrangell Mountains range. That's a region defined by its huge volcanic peaks, expansive ice fields. It kind of illustrates how tightly packed these giants are. They form these complex, challenging, high-altitude labyrinths.
Right, so we're not just talking individual peaks here, but entire systems of high mountains.
Hmm.
Okay. As we keep climbing, what does number 8 tell us?
Number 8 is South Buttress. It comes in at 15,885 feet. The interesting detail here, though, is that despite its impressive height, it's actually a sub-peak. It's part of Mount Foraker, which we'll definitely get to later. And the material often highlights that even these sort of lower-ranked peaks are not the most massive mountains in Alaska by far. It hints at their overall volume and maybe their distinct geology, not just the number at the very top.
That's a great distinction to make.
Yeah.
What about number 7, Mount Vancouver? Does it keep with that theme of immense scale?
Mount Vancouver holds the number 7 spot, yeah. Height is 15,979 feet, so just nudging close to that 16,000-foot mark. What makes Vancouver particularly unique is its geography. It's shared. The source says it's mainly in Canada, but the southern side resides in Alaska. So this cross-border giant is, well, it's a great reminder of how these geological forces, they don't really care about human-drawn lines on a map, do they?
That cross-border fact is fascinating. Okay, so are we finally breaking into that true 16,000-foot territory with number 6?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mount Sanford really takes a massive jump into the 16,000 feet territory. Its height is 16,237 feet. It's another prominent volcanic peak, again in the Wrangell Mountains. Its immense bulk just dominates the landscape around it. It really emphasizes Alaska's vastness, the sheer scale of its wilderness.
Okay, big jump there. And what about the next couple? Do they continue that upward trajectory in a, significant way?
They do, yeah. Following Sanford, we have Mount Blackburn at 16,320 feet, and then Mount Bona continuing the upward trend at 16,500 feet. Both of these are part of the mighty St. Elias Mountains. That's a range known for having some of the highest coastal mountains in the world.
Yeah.
Just imagine peaks this tall, rising so close to the ocean. It must create incredibly unique and probably very challenging climate conditions.
Wow, coastal mountains that high. Okay, now you've alluded to it, and the numbers are clearly getting bigger. It's time to get into the top 3. Here's where I imagine the jumps in elevation become even more dramatic, and maybe the sheer challenge of these mountains really comes into focus.
Oh, absolutely they do. At number 3, we have Mount Foraker. And as the source states, it makes a massive jump to a height of 17,400 feet. This isn't just like a numerical leap. It's climbing into a different atmospheric zone altogether. Foraker is often overshadowed by Denali, of course, but it's widely considered a significantly more challenging technical climb. Steep faces, severe weather. It's even earned nicknames like Mount Hunter from some mountaineers. It's a stark reminder, really, that height isn't the only measure of a mountain's challenge. That distinction is incredibly important. Yeah. So it's just shy of the absolute pinnacle, our number 2. Right. Before we reach the very tallest, it's important to acknowledge that number 2 truly is a giant, in every sense of the word, Mount St. Elias. It comes in at a remarkable 18,008 feet, crossing that 18,000-foot threshold. It's the second highest peak in both the U.S. and Canada, standing as this colossal border marker. And its dramatic vertical relief, base to summit, rising directly from near sea level, it makes it visually stunning and an incredibly demanding climb.
Okay, a giant indeed. And finally, the undisputed champion. The tallest mountain, not just in Alaska, but the entire U.S.
That would be the breathtaking Mount Denali. It has an overall height of 20,320 feet, just staggering.
Yeah.
The highest mountain in all of North America. When the source mentions that many enjoy taking on the challenge of climbing it, well, that might be a bit of an understatement. Denali's true unique feature isn't just its absolute height, though that's impressive enough. It's massive prominence. That means its vertical rise directly from the surrounding lowlands. It actually has a greater base-to-summit rise than even Mount Everest. So its ascent is an extremely physically demanding undertaking, often compounded by extreme cold, high winds, really unpredictable weather.
Wow. So what does this all truly mean then for our understanding of the U.S. and particularly Alaska? We've seen how Alaska isn't just vast, it's home to some of the most towering natural wonders on Earth. From Mount Fairweather way down, well, relatively speaking, at 15,300 feet, all the way up to the truly breathtaking Mount Denali, standing at that remarkable 20,320 feet. It completely changes that common perception, doesn't it, of the state as merely a cold, distant place.
Exactly, and this raises an important question for you, the listener, to consider. The source makes a point that Alaska's large and vast range of mountains adds immensely to its overall beauty, that it's not just harsh winters and huskies.
Right.
It's about discovering plenty of beautiful areas beyond those stereotypes. We've really just touched on the very highest points of this incredible landscape today. So maybe think about this. What challenges and what triumphs might lie in exploring those other beautiful areas beyond just the famous peaks we've discussed, especially given the extreme elevations, the vastness, and the wild, untamed landscapes we've briefly touched upon?